All right, so we're back. In our last episode, we had just liberated Olog's trading post, or not liberated. We had just defended Olog's trading post from bandits, and we slept for the night. We had a vision during the night of some kind of nymph that told us that the Stag Lord, through a druid in his service, was creating this supernatural fog, and that the fog was doing damage to the land.
That is not far.
And so we've come downstairs, and instead of going through everyone's speeches, I'm gonna kind of summarize. So this is Lindsay. This is our bard. She grew up in a very small town that was not big on education. However, a exiled person came there and taught Lindsay on the sly, and then she left town with a merchant and made her way to Pitox, the same country that we've been accused of being a spy for. And at Patox, she studied at the Grand Academy of Arts, where she studied to be a bard. Uh, Her interest is in histories and writing history. The king of Patox is loud, crude, and vain. So he wants all the art that's taught, that's done in Patox, to be very loud, very kind of like almost gaudy, and to glorify him. And so that's apparently she made a limerick making fun of him, and apparently that's why she was kicked out of the Grand Academy. And she has decided that the best thing for her to do is to follow an adventurer and write a history firsthand of uh, that adventurer's like adventure that was yeah, that adventurer's deeds and their story. This is Anoriel Eight Eyes. She was part of a what sounds like a high level adventuring group called the Reckless Six. But something bad happened to the group, and so she has kind of retired. Implies that she drinks heavily. Um, and she is here mainly as a way to recruit um, custom made adventurers, but is very expensive. Uh, so I'm not sure how people would make a whole party of six um, at those costs. And from what I hear, that cost goes up as you gain levels. So as you gain levels and make more money, the cost also goes up. This is Svetlana. She's the wife of Oleg, so they run the trading post together. The bandits stole her wedding ring. She's asked us to get back for them, and she's also asked us, if possible, not to hurt the bandit Kressel. And then if we go outside, we have Oleg here, who is Svetlana's husband. He does not like the noise and crowds of cities, and that's one of the reasons he wanted to come out here and set this trading post. Um, I don't know if that's going to lead to conflict later because we came here to set up a city. So I don't know if that's going to be detrimental to him or not.
As it should be.
This is Bokken. He is an alchemist who just lives out here in the wilderness, and Oleg and Svetlana kind of take care of him, so he can make potions and other alchemical items. If we come over here, we see Amiri. She came from the Mammoth Lands, from the Six Bear tribe. Um, she left her tribe because she wanted to be a warrior, and in her tribe, women are not supposed to be warriors. She also got her sword in something to do with frost giants, but she doesn't want to talk about it much. Um, So yeah.
In due
Uh,
time.
Also, I should mention about Lindsay is that Lindsay worships Shaylin, which is the goddess of beauty and art, and she has a ring that if something happens to Lindsay, if she gets hurt, it teleports her to a safe location. So she is very much a follower of Shaylin, whereas our other companion, Valerie,
According to plan.
used to be a follower of Shaylin. She came from a wealthy, noble family. Her parents sent her to be a paladin of Shaylin. Um, the character Valerie is supposed to be extremely beautiful in the game, and so Shaylin as the gods of beauty, she kind of had like a special um, significance in the church. There's always people like flattering her and courting her and writing poems about her and stuff. So she came to view the Church of Shaylin as very superficial and kind of pointless, and so she left her paladin hood. She's an atheist now. She doesn't believe in any god, well, or at least not in following any gods. Um, so it's interesting that we have one character who does not like Shaylin, and then the other character who likes Shaylin very much. There has been some hubbub on about the game, with people saying that
Follow my lead.
it's doing like social justice stuff in the game because um, like Valerie and Amari both uh, have this position that would be challenging what in social justice terms would be called expected like female norms, um, where one is like rejecting her beauty and the other one is rejecting like the male society idea that they can't be a warrior. But it doesn't really come off like that. It comes off, it's not preachy, and I mean, to me at least, it's just women trying to do what they want to do, and there's nothing like super bad social justicey preachy about it. It's just part of their character. So I don't know what the hubbub is about. I
In due
mean,
time.
it seems pretty normal to me. Um, One thing I wanted to talk about here is with the wares, your camping supplies and rations. In order to camp underground, so in a dungeon basically, you must have rations. You can't hunt. Um, and you had to have one ration per character. So right now we have four characters, so we need four rations. Eventually, though, hopefully, we're gonna get to six characters, and then we'll need six rations per rest. And the rations are 10 pounds each, so very heavy. So I mean, you see, we're well into the medium here, and we only have a couple potions, two weapons, a chain shirt, which I can probably sell, um, and some scrolls and food pieces. But I mean, we get 70 pounds right from here. And so, one of the things that I want to aim to get as soon as possible is this item over here. Where do you go? This is a way to list this by value. Nope. Oh, price. Yeah, in senior. Right here. The small bag of holding. So this is definitely something I want to get because it allows you to carry an extra 100 pounds. Uh, Basically expands your carrying weight in each category by 100 pounds. So that's fairly significant if we had to carry around this really heavy um, kind of uh, camping supplies to be forced with. Because if you're in a dungeon and if you take a lot of damage, if you're going through spells, um, then you need to rest to, you know, both to accomplish healing and to replenish your spells. Now, I think what a lot of people are doing in the game, it sounds like, is they're buying like a ton of potions, a ton of scrolls, and the game allows you to do that. And that's fine. I'm trying not to do that because that's not how Pathfinder works. Um, no one, potions and scrolls are very expensive uh, relative to the money you make in the tabletop game, and also unlike here where if we wait, unlike here if we go to Bokken and we talk to Bokken and see what he has to offer, he's got 41 acid flasks, 72 alchemist fire, basically 100 potions of cure light wound, 21 potions of cure moderate wounds. Like that would never happen in the tabletop game. Like Bokken would have like maybe four acid flasks, two alchemist fire, three light wounds, one cure moderate, and that would be it. Like it's not the case where um, you have these huge stockpiles of consumables, especially on a hermit out in the woods, right? Even in a moderate sized town, you would not have anything approaching this kind of stockpile in the tabletop game. So, and I realize, you're going to have differences between a video game and the tabletop game, but for me, I'm trying to play as much as possible towards the tabletop version, and so it's unrealistic to me to carry around 100 potions of cure light wounds. Um, that's just something that would never happen in the tabletop game, and so I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to use mainly what I find. There are some things because of the mechanics of the game that you have to get around it. For instance, um, there's been a lot of talk about. There's a quest actually. Bokken sends you on this quest. So if we talk to Bokken and we ask him, "Can I help you?" Well, since you're asking, there's a cave nearby. I used to pick berries there, but the place has been overrun by spiders. The berries are red, look a lot like raspberries. Fangberries, I call them. I'd be real grateful if you gathered a basket of them and brought them back. Just be quick if you do, they spoil quickly. Fangberry Cave is real. So this is new. This did not used to be in the game. They've added this because so many people complain about the encounter. Those spiders in the cave are extremely mean. I'll give you some alchemist fires. Crafted them myself. Burn those fires. Teach them how to claim my Fangberry Cave. And he gives us 6 alchemist fire. And then he also uses moon radishes. They're rare and mysterious plants. I don't know where to find them, but I know that kobolds gather them and value them highly. It's not a huge deal. Really, I'd do it myself if I were younger. But you're willing, I'll pay you 3 potions for the berries and a purse full of coins for the radishes. Alright, I'll try to help. And then show me what you have. So, um, yeah, so apparently they have the in the cave that we're going to, there are spider swarms. There are 3 of them, I believe, and if you haven't played Pathfinder, and if swarms are made up of really tiny creatures like spiders, then they're immune to all weapon damage. They're supposed to take, uh, and they're also immune to spells that target a specific target. Um, they're supposed to take 50% extra damage from area of effect spells. So, like if you cast Burning Hands and roll 2d4 and get a 6, then it would do 9 damage to the swarm. But the problem is that in the game it's not doing the extra 50% damage. And then they have like really high stats. Like I think they were saying they have like a 21 touch AC, so they're really hard to hit. So the only way to really do this quest, unless you wait until you're a much higher level, is basically to load up on Alchemist Fire. Well, actually, if you see Alchemist Fire is 20 gold, and Acid Flask is 10 gold, and Acid Flask will do the same thing. So we're gonna load up on Acid Flasks, Um, we have 7 alchemist fire and 2 acid flasks already. So I'm gonna take. Let's see. Let's go with 11 acid flasks, especially since I don't have any magic users or any magic users that have like AOE spells. Um, so when we go in there, we're just gonna basically spread out these acid and alchemist fire flasks and just throw them at the swarms until they die. And we're probably gonna miss because they have that really high touch AC, but they'll take the 1 point of splash damage from the flask. And unfortunately, um, that's like the only way uh, to defeat those creatures. Even though it should be much easier. Uh, even though like this is a party composition that you would never really see. I mean, you might see it but it's very unusual to have people play um, 3 melee characters and a bard, uh, because that party is just so imbalanced that it's typically not going to get very far unless the dungeon master is just custom tailoring the encounter to work for them. All right. Anyway, the other thing that we want is so if we look at Istvan, he has a bow and a oven curved blade. And if we look at Valerie, she has a bastard sword. And if we look at Amari, she has a great axe. Uh, oh, what happened here? No. Okay. She had a great axe and a ginormous sword. And if we look at Lindsay, she has a crossbow and a master mace. Um, one thing that's not uncommon to run across, especially early levels, is skeletons. And skeletons take reduced damage unless you have a blunt weapon. And so, what I want to do is I want to pick up blunt weapons for everybody. So Lindsay has one, and now we're going to try to get. And we have a heavy mace here that Valerie can use with her shield. So we need one for Istvan and one for Amiri. Uh, so we have our Earthbreaker here, and we have a Great Club. So those should work for my um, Spore Hammer. Okay, so the Earthbreaker is a two-handed hammer, and the Great Club is a two-handed club. Um, and these guys are both Amari and Istvan are both two-handed fighters. So that's what we're gonna take. I wish they had non-masterwork versions. I mean, masterwork's good for the um, extra +1 to hit, but I don't want to use all my money in this. But I think in the long run it'll pay off because as we are now, if we run into um, skeletons, then we're probably gonna get killed because we won't be able to do enough damage to them. All right. And so that gives us the ability. And, now we're almost up to heavy. But if we come here, we can drop these here. And then on Amari, we can drop it in here. Bring her Great Axe back over here. And now we should be set up to deal with most things that we come across. It is worth noting um, that there's kind of crazy difficulty spikes in the game. Um, you can be in an area where you're fighting things pretty easily, but in that same area, there will be an encounter that will, instantly kill the entire party. Um, so this is our party that this is our only option right now. So we're gonna move out. And so if we remember, the last information we had is that we want to go to a place called Thorns Crossing to see if we can meet up, or not meet up, but find the bandits there. That's where Kessel is supposed to be, and get some information on where the Stag Lord is. This is the Fangberry Cave here. Uh, let's see what else we got. Here's Thorn 4 down here. So I think what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to take out the Fangberry Cave, and Oleg said that it's spoil fast. So we'll probably go to Fangberry Cave, go back to Oleg's, uh, and then head out for Thorn 4. But we have a random encounter. A dirty old man in squalid clothing shuffles up to you. His gray hair is unkempt, and he continually clenches and unclenches his wrinkled, freckled hands. When he stops and looks up at you, his eyes widen, and he tugs at his beard. Strange weather, invisible fog creeping out of the woods. Soars beyond the sky, obscures the sun and moon. Strange. The old man shakes his head, his eyes shifting about, seemingly at random. Amari, I don't like this old man. Looks like the kind who can cast the evil eye. Who are you? The old man freezes for a moment. Remus. But that won't help with the fog. What are you doing here? I do nothing. Breathe, walk, observe. The fog looks visible enough to me. I see more than ever. I've never seen so much before. But someone must look, and no one else can. Invisible fog? Does that mean you can find your way through it? The fog is wrong. It hinders your legs, not your sight. I wish not to try. Uh, I should probably go. The old man stares at you intently. You hasten? You should. Your rival wastes no time. He races, but in another direction. He searches for power. He'll find it. My rival? Do you mean Tartusio? The old man tugs his beard again. He's not tall, but he wants to climb high. Beside him are those who could stand against him, and might yet still. Hmm. What power are you searching for? Someone else's, old but forever young. That which was taken from another, that which gave joy, and now gives death. Can you tell me where he is now? He is in an old tomb, south of the train post. Thank you. All the more reason not to linger. Farewell. The old man turns and walks away slowly, muttering softly. Once stolen, the land should be reclaimed. Once reclaimed, binded with the claimer shall it be. Binded, merged, joined in unbreakable ties. Claiming the land, claiming its pain, claiming its death. Okay, so some kind of seer, perhaps? Um, kind of implying that whoever claims this land is going to merge with the land, or as in share its fate. Okay, so now here's the ancient tomb. I still think I want to do the Fangberry cave first, and then go back, and then go to the ancient tomb. Hopefully, they won't leave. We'll have to see. I don't know how like time conscious this game is. Uh, sorry. All right. So here we are. So first of all, let's do a quick save. So I guess this effect up here along the edges is like the fog. I'm assuming. So there's a road here. Okay. So this warning is also new, I think. So this is telling you, uh, telling you the things that work in this version of the game. So it's telling you that acid flash and alchemist fires, spells with area effect capabilities, or spells that require an attack roll, like acid splash. So in the tabletop game, spells that require an attack roll, that would not work. But it's saying here that it will. You can also try to use torches as a last resort. So our torches are ever burnt with. So yeah, in the tabletop game, Everburning torches or Everburning is a spell that doesn't actually produce any kind of heat. It's not real fire, so it wouldn't do any. But here, these do apparently do some fire damage. So maybe we can take Valerie and give her a torch, and uh, I think we're just gonna leave Valerie with a torch. And then we need to load up our people on these splash weapons. Wish there was a better way to do this. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, to the spiders usually have poison that uh, can do ability score damage. So hopefully we can kind of kill them off fast enough that that we won't have taken a ton of ability damage. All right. So let's say that again that we've given all the stuff out. and then go inside the cave. Okay. So here's a giant spider. Alright. So I want
I'm listening.
Mari to kind of go over there and hold.
I am prepared.
She could hold there.
What troubles you?
She could come here. Actually,
And so they walked on.
come back here. Hold.
I am your shield.
Alright, Valerie.
Let us
Go.
strike as one to victory.
Okay, spider swarm, and giant spider. Alright. I think we're going to send Amari to kill the giant spider. Valerie, you can stop there. I want you to throw an acid flask. Acid flask, the same one. Wait, what was that? Oh, okay, nothing. It's just the circle. No, no, no. Do not run into the swarm. Should hold. Acid flask that. Acid flask, or flame, whatever. That thing. Go kill the spider. Damn it. Stop going in there. And this is why this encounter sucks. Okay, you know what? Switch to your bow so that you're not constantly running in there.
Tear them apart!
Alright. So another spider and another swarm came out. So this Divin, you can switch back to your sword. Keep throwing the fire. Keep throwing the acid. I don't think we have enough. I think we did not bring enough.
I can't keep this up much longer.
Geez, that spider's still alive? The hell, man?
I require healing.
Yeah, so she's taking a ton of strength damage. Both nauseated. don't think you can go in there. No.
Serves you right.
There's no reason that these spiders are still alive.
They go down! This won't kill me.
Yeah. So Valerie's down. That spider finally dies. Alright, Amari, what you got? Alright. Keep acid splashing. Yeah, I mean, we're out of.
You deserved it.
Avenge me. Oh, right. Avenge me.
Okay. This,
Avenge me.
okay.
This won't kill me.
Hey, we made it. I mean, we got, let's see here. Okay, she's at -7 strength. Awesome. And she's at -3. Great. Well, alright. There's our Fangberry bush.
I know what to do. I can't.
What the hell happened here? Alright, so you need a DC 20 nature check to get something off here. Alright.
This is not possible.
And you're taking damage. I'm not sure why he fell out like that.
I can't.
This is terrible. So we need a 13 to get something off here.
I can't.
Sometimes you just gotta question the game design. Like, what is the actual point of this?
This is not possible. It is finished.
Yeah. Okay, so we finally got the Fangberries.
All according to plan.
Well, and Valerie is too heavy to move.
I am yours to command.
So, let's take this off. Okay. So we're all jacked up.
In due time.
And so you can see why people were complaining about this quest. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. Can it be done? Sure. Uh, can it be done with anything approaching the kind of challenge level that's supposed to be at? Nah, not really. So we're gonna hope we don't get a random encounter. Explore a little more of the map. And now we need to sleep for like a week to get our strength back. I mean, that fight should have been a lot easier with a wizard or a sorcerer or even a magus, you know. But since we didn't have that, uh, our only option was to use flash weapons. And since the swarms have, or those swarms have a touch AC of 21, basically you're doing 1 point of damage at a time. So you need enough splash weapons to kill all three of the swarms, um, 1 point of damage at a time. Alright, Bokken, I did your stupid quest. Alright, so it gives a potion of restoration, lesser, and a potion of cure light wounds too. Okay. So the potion of lesser restoration gives 1d4 of ability damage back. So if we used it on um, Valerie, who's at -7 strength, after we use it, she would be anywhere from -6 to -3. Oh wait, no. Let's see. Character. So she's at 7. So it would give her anywhere from an 8 to a 11. Oh, she's only at -2. Wait. No, she's at -7. Okay, so it only has a 14. So the less restoration potion will give us anywhere from an 8 to an 11 strength after using it. So it's not really worth using on her. Amari is at -3, so it could give her her full uh, strength back. But since we have to wait for um, her strength to come back anyway, and we might as well just rest. We are on a time hack. If you remember, we have 87 days and 11 hours, so you don't want to rest too much, but I think we have enough time that if we come in here and rest, that we will. Now the other thing that can happen is that we could have another sleeping event, um, which could be bad. All right, so look at this. All right, so Valerie healed 1 strength and Amari healed 1 strength. That's 2. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we should be back to full strength now. Yes. All right.
All according to plan.
So nothing else really going on. We need a bunch more gold. So now let's go to the. Actually, we're gonna cut it there. And when next we come back, we will donate to the ancient tomb to see if we run into Tartusio in his gang. So thanks for watching the crazy spider swarms. Um, I still think this is a fun game. There are some really questionable design choices, and there are some really some frustrating aspects that come from those design choices. But overall, I think it's a fun game, and I'm enjoying playing it. And I'll see y'all next time. Have a good night.